Hello everyone, and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, the Transylvania Chronicles, here on Dork Tales. I'm your storyteller, Kelly, you see him, and I am very excited to be coming back after last week's, not really a it was a cliffhanger, let's be fair. We've got a lot of great stuff to go over tonight, but first I want to say hello to the cast. Let's go around in a circle, starting with Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and so does Tereza Dinescu for now, who is our Zemisi Vovoid. And yeah, super excited to be back. And I'm very excited to start game because, my goodness, that end, that fight, that everything.
All right, next to you, we've got Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris, and I go by Diggy Blog in chat, use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and really excited to be here playing Bastien, not Bastien, playing Rainald. A
lot of things happened last episode.
Yeah, a lot of crazy
Can we switch
things.
bodies? Is that a power I have?
Probably. I was actually just staring into your third eye, and it mesmerized me. Looking forward to playing tonight. I'm playing Rainald, the La Sombra priest, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
It's going to be fantastic. Someone who might know what happens next is Kal.
Hello. I get inklings of what is happening next. My name is Kal. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Bastien, your favorite salubri. And oh geez, I'm Neo Kal in the chat, and I'm excited to pick up after the messy episode that happened last time. Good to see everyone.
Good to see everyone. And last but not least, we have Jen, who looks like crap right now.
Hey, thanks. I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and don't worry, it's all makeup because Alëna is hurt a lot. Not that she'd say that, but it's ow. It's much ow. But yeah, I play Alëna, our tanky gangrel who tanked a werewolf last week.
Oh boy, that was a close one. But holy crap, good job.
It was.
Beautiful. All right, so folks, before we begin, I wanted to do a quick thank you for everybody who has come out and support us. We had a cool April 1st video going up on YouTube, and a bunch of people joined the Patreon because of that, so thank you so much. The more people that we have on Patreon, the more cool things like that we can do, and the more cool things like this we can do. In fact, at 175 patrons, we're going to have a Regency-era D&D game, so you should definitely sign up for the Patreon if you have not yet, and that's any paid membership goes toward that total. Besides that, also, we could not do what we do without amazing sponsors like Bookwyrm Games. Bookwyrm Games is responsible for so many things we do here, and is the reason that we have amazing dice like Robin's Gemstone D10s that were inspired by the Sabbat. It's about several hundred years before they come into existence, so you basically... That's a time paradox in your hand right there.
On the time paradox, my camera's a lot farther away, so I can't get a super close-up look at it, but yeah, they're very pretty. They're very pretty. I love them. I want more.
And hey, if you want some friends, Bookwyrm is, they have a backer kit right now for fungal familiar enamel pins. It's live right now, and actually they've reached their funding goal, so now they're in stretch goals right now. So you definitely want to check that out. The possum familiar is just, it's so cute. Everybody loves possums right now, and the rabbit's pretty cute too. There are so many good things over there at Bookwyrm Games, and the best part of all is that if you go to bookwyrmgames.com, you can save 15% by using code DorkTales. It's a great way to support the channel and to get yourself some cool stuff because they do worldwide shipping, and shipping is free if you break 100 Canadian, which if you're living anywhere but Canada, doesn't cost you much. I guarantee that. Our dollar kind of sucks right now. So give it a look, see what you can find. There is so much in store there. From everything from dice to tea to some really, really adorable familiars that you can take home. If you're looking for those enamel pins, I'm going to have a link down below if you're watching on YouTube later, and the shipping's super fast, and we'll pop a link in the chat real quick too. Hey, love you too. Thank you so much for supporting us, Bookwyrm Games. And a big reminder that next weekend is Extra Life. So next Friday on April, 12th. On April 12th, we have 3 days of gaming, everything from paranoia to bird crimes, and it's going to be a fantastic time. You should come and enjoy along with us and help us raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. It's 14 games over 3 days. You're going to absolutely love what we do. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And remember, this is replacing the one that's usually in August. So this is they're spreading out a little bit. So there won't be one Extra Life in August. So if you want to donate early, get in on it. This is the time, man.
Donate early, donate hard, just like blood. Hey, speaking of blood, I think it's time for us to head into game today here on Dork Tales. You all ready?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Last time on Transylvania Chronicles, the characters tried to shore up their funding in order to complete the tower that they are set to build in the Tehuta Pass by winter. Things are going a bit rough, however, as various villages have been reticent with their payments, and the travel across the pass has been a little slow as of late. So the coterie went to work, spreading around and trying to force the issue. They even went down to a small village on the Russian side of the pass, the town of Tver, where they convinced a bunch of dirty pagans, well, some of them were clean, but a bunch of pagan villagers to pay tithe to them. However, on their return, they were waylaid by what they thought was a village idiot that turned out to be a ravening lupine. After a pitched battle, Tereza's retainer almost lost his life, but was miraculously healed by Bastien, who may not be a Malkavian after all. In the meanwhile as well, Alëna, with a little bit of help from Tereza and Rainald, were able to subdue the monster, killing it and stripping the flesh from its bones as a trophy. Although in the process, Alëna was hurt very, very badly. And that's where we're going to pick up from right now. In the back of the wagon, Dominic breathes very heavily, unconscious and healed, his pulse steady, his flesh unmarred by even scar. Bastien, you stand over him, the slit in your forehead open, the eye blinking down at the body of the boy beneath you, the man beneath you. Rainald, standing across from you, staring at you in shock. Rainald, I would really like you to do me a favor. Can you please make me an intelligence, and I'll let you make occult or politics.
Occult or politics? Well, in that case,
Yes.
I'm going to go for occult because I get difficulty break on that.
Nice.
Ability aptitude, go. 6s?
That'll be 6s with your ability aptitude, yes.
With it. Okay.
Yes. Because it's a -2 difficulty?
Yep.
Yeah.
In that case, 3.
You know exactly what he is. Looking at him, that third eye blinking at you from the center of Bastien's forehead marks him as one of the Salubri, a fallen clan, once one of the original 13, who is in the process, well, that is in the process of being systematically butchered by the Tremere, the upstart clan of wizards. with 3 successes, you have enough knowledge to know that there are conflicting reasons behind this. There is a campaign of information or propaganda, depending on who you ask, that states that the Salubri are soul stealers. They are monsters, hiding among monsters, that use their benign actions as a way to hide their nefarious intent. No one trusts them. No one should trust them. And many kindred feel that even in their heyday, there was something suspicious about any Cainite who attempts to perpetuate good works. That said, your sire has spoken with you several times about the old clans, and about how she would rather side with the Salubri even now than with one of the wretched Tremere. That said, there are not very many of them left. And whether or not you believe the propaganda is up to you. I do think your sire is pretty in the know, though.
Okay. Bastien. Here, let me help you for a moment. And I'm gonna... There we go. I think it's best you keep your hood on like me. Just for now.
What? I see.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Very well. No doubt.
I do have the blood of saints in me, after all.
Oh.
So thirsty, but Dominique, is he dead?
I need you to make me a self-control roll looking down at him, Bastien. His chest is throbbing with a strong heartbeat. There's blood all over his clothes.
Ooh, self-control.
Mm-hmm. And you are starving, so give it to me at a difficulty of 8, please.
All right. 1. 1 8.
Okay.
1 2.
You are going to smell the stench of blood radiating, not just from him, but from the road. There's another source of blood nearby, and close by, in front, where the horses have paralyzed themselves with fear, you are going to hear a large body drop as one of the horses faints away. The other one that was pulling the cart is holding itself stock still. And beyond it, you are going to hear tearing of muscle, and this horrible... what I would really like, as you stand up in the cart and look over, you are going to see Tereza and Alëna coming out of their frenzies, having torn into this werewolf, stripping its arms and legs, its head. I need to know right now, as you come out of your frenzy, what is the first thing the two of you do?
Feed. I'm very hungry.
Sounds good. So you may start feeding. What I'd like you to do, Jen, is please mark every point of blood that you take from this. There are, I believe, 20 points of blood left.
Okay. Unless somebody's competing with me for blood, I'm taking 11.
Okay. As long as you have those blood points in you, your frenzy difficulty is going to be increased by 2.
Yeah.
However, when you spend them, I'll have something weird happen because I like that alternate rule. So please let me know when those get to the bottom of your sheet.
So I'll spend the 4 I had first, and then...
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, it's like you spend from the bottom down. So when you top up, you'll have to cycle those in.
Sounds good.
All right. So you are tearing, slurping, devouring, even as these ragged cuts, parts of your stomach hang out of your furs. Part of your chest lets out a wheezing noise every time you intake blood. Tereza, what are you doing?
Tereza, once she comes out of her frenzy, is going to immediately whip around with this look you've probably not seen really on her, except for maybe a couple occasions, but she's going to have this intense, worried look, and she whips around and goes, Dominic! And she looks for him.
He lives. He is in the cart.
Rainald is gonna look over at Bastien very quickly for a moment, and then look at Tereza. It's like it was not actually that bad. I hope you don't mind, but he was clinging on to consciousness, and we fed him some blood. He was able to use that to patch up his wounds. Flat out lying.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and let's, Robin, can you please do me a favor and make me a perception and subterfuge roll, or a perception and empathy roll, whichever you prefer. And Chris, please make me a manipulation and subterfuge roll.
Can I choose to fail because I know
Yes, you may.
Tereza's not paying
Perfect. Never
attention
mind
to
then.
that at all?
Then never mind.
Yeah, she's not gonna read into that at all. She's gonna just look and be like,
Well, Rainald's going to kind of back up and get a little bit sort of behind Tereza and just quietly kind of look over at Bastien, like with Tereza's back to him, and just be like, and head over towards Alëna.
Tereza's gonna go into the cart and just look at Dominic.
What this
I
happens?
am so sorry. You were so... You were hurt. You did...
Are you alright?
You hurt it. I am alright. You rest.
One moment, please. I just have to roll something. I'm gonna let you roll this for me. Please do me a favor and roll me 4 dice.
Okay.
And tell me what you get.
3 2s and a 7.
Okay. So as he will reach out, say, I'm sorry, and will catch himself, look at Rainald. Master. I'm sorry, Master. I should have fought harder, smarter. I will train.
You did everything right. I'm so sorry.
Dominic
Boy.
will crawl over to you on his hands and knees and will just wrap his arms around your legs.
She's gonna like sit down and like take him into her lap and start like stroking his hair. And she's just gonna cast a look at Bastien. And this is my son. You saved my son.
Truly. I can see why you would hide that information from us. That can be a liability in our society.
Yes. It is on a need to know basis of who is trustworthy. I did not have a good start in life, and I have learned that to keep your most precious a secret until it is worth sharing. And you chose to help him. And for that, you have my eternal loyalty.
I would do it again, even if I did not have your loyalty. One of God's children, and unlike us, he is not eternally damned. But you are welcome.
And as you say that, Bastien, the smell of the werewolf's blood is just too much. You need to drink now, or you're going to frenzy.
Excuse me. And I'll kneel down beside Alëna and get some nummies.
Sounds good.
You said there were 15?
There are 9 remaining blood points worth it.
Whoever like approaches, because I thought you were further away, so I didn't want to intrude on the scene. But once whoever like kind of seems to be going after the werewolf now, Alëna will growl at first, and then look up, and when she notices that it's one of you, something in her eyes will shift, and she'll like hold out a piece of whatever she's gnawing on at this point.
How does this dude taste like? Like very noticeably not human?
Very noticeably not human.
My
As
dog?
No.
My dog.
What I want you to think is, this is a really bad comparison. So please take it with a grain of salt.
You can give
This
me
is the
vibes.
difference.
Yeah.
Basically, have you ever actually drank the syrup that comes out of a fountain Coke machine instead of...
Oh, unfortunately.
It is that concentrated. The blood
yeah.
here is like if you pressure cooked a steak into like a pill.
Oh.
This explodes in your mouth with such orgasmic flavor that at the same point you feel like you just took your first dose of PCP. Like you want to punch a concrete wall until one of you breaks.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so she'll offer him wait, like watch Bastien until he starts eating. And then she'll like take the last point or whatever that she needs till she's full.
Well, I was down to 1,
Hey, now you're up at 10.
and I'm up at 10.
That said, looking at Alëna, she is crippled with pain right now. She has taken an extreme amount of damage. In fact, the fact that she is still alive, well, she still exists, is probably a miracle.
Rainald is just kind of gonna wait near the outskirts while, like, just kind of around while people are eating, and just try and keep an eye. He will not partake of what's going on, but will kind of stand guard over everyone to make sure nobody else is nearby to see this. And
You can't. Alëna, you cannot close your wounds.
They were close in time. And she's gonna like stand up and just start pushing her organs back inside her body and like strapping her thing around, just being like, this is fine.
Out of character question. We can't instantly heal aggravated, can we?
Aggravated damage, it requires a full day of rest, a full day rest, and then 5 points of blood. And if you want to heal a second one that day, you have to spend a willpower and 5 more points immediately.
So you're looking at max 2 per day.
Yeah, unless you're an elder. You can technically heal it for 3. And you can heal it immediately without scars.
Oh.
I'm gonna wait until I don't have to devour the horse.
That's fair.
I was gonna say Tereza's looking at the horse like it's kind of tasty, but if we're still showing restraint,
Horse looking kind of fine lately.
It's got nice legs. And speaking of which, as you are crouching there finishing off the drink of the werewolf, you are going to hear a thunder crack as the storm that has been threatening rolls in. And suddenly, the horse that is still standing, stock still, is going to suddenly come back to consciousness, its eyes flaring wildly as the stress catches up with it, and it is going to rear up. Would you like to make me a dexterity and athletics roll to not get kicked?
Who?
You, Bastien,
Me?
you're standing right in front of a horse.
Oh, fuck. Dexterity, you say?
Yes, yes I would. Dex and athletics to dodge out of the way.
Oh. Right. He's extremely enamored. And what if I
Oh,
don't
boy.
have athletics?
1, 2, 3.
Can I apply nimble?
Yeah.
Oh, I will say also in the fight, Alëna's hair came down off of her ears, so she does actually have her fox ears that are like moving around.
Mother, what's the difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Okay, 1 takes away the 7, and 10 gives me 1,
Yep. And you can re-roll that.
and the 10 gave me a 5.
Oh,
So
beautiful. 1. As you see this horse coming, it lurches up, thrashing its hooves out, and you are going to see the lightning crash, and unlucky, you fail.
Oh. That's a good time to be unlucky.
Oh, it was. It
Very
was.
nice.
You feel a root wrap around your foot that you didn't notice before. Please do me a favor and make me a soak roll. As the horse's hoof collides with the side of your face.
is the horse like rearing and acting out, or
It is
it like just-
rearing and smashing one of its front hooves down, so this is going to be a fast action, but you can intervene afterwards.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, exactly. That's what I was
that's
asking.
just stamina, correct?
It's just stamina, difficulty 6.
Come on, stamina. Don't fail me now. Or, 1. 1 success.
1. Okay, you're going to take 2 points of lethal damage. And can you make me a self-control roll not to attack the horse?
To not attack the horse?
You were just
And
damaged
because
by
of
the horse.
werewolf blood, difficulty
And you've
is
got werewolf
higher.
blood, so give me
Oh,
to
mother of-
difficulty 8, please.
Difficulty 8? To not punch the horse?
To not rip the horse's throat out with your fangs.
Oh, fuck. I need more self-control. I can buy that, right?
Yep.
Oh, that's no successes.
Okay, so why don't we go into initiative phase right now? So everybody roll initiative if they'd like to enter. Does anyone want to intervene in this?
I will try
yeah.
and calm down the horse. Because
Okay.
that is we're only having one. There's like not two horses. There is a single.
There are two
horse
horses.
pulling this cart. Oh, there are, but there's
Yep,
still
one is
attached to the-
collapsed on the ground. It
Mm.
fainted.
Oh yes.
Werewolves will do that.
Do I still have my blood buffs from the fight that I was just in?
You will until you leave this area, yes.
Cool, cool.
Oh,
I mean, I
perfect.
still
Alright.
rolled a 1 on the die, but
Okay, so everybody give me an initiative roll just so we can do sequencing. I'll roll for the horse. But that's not a very fast horse. Okay, the horse has a total of 11. Okay. All right, so check an initiative. That's a D10 plus your wits and dex. Holy crap, Robin.
If we're
Wix
still
or
buffed,
Dex?
if we're still blood buffed, that's.
So yeah, you
my
add
dex.
your wits, dex, and a D10.
I don't. have
Oh,
a
you
special
add your
I
wits
rolled
and dex. Okay.
Yep, so you add the 2 stats to a D10.
I'm very sad I don't have a specialty in dex right now because I rolled a 10 on my initiative.
yeah, I mean, I'd buffed my dex to 5, but I still rolled a 1 on the die.
Yeah, right. Okay, so what we have is we have Tereza, Bastien, Rainald, horse, and Alëna. All right, Tereza. The horse rears up, its eyes wild. What would you like to do?
Yeah, because it doesn't look like Bastien is gonna attack the horse yet, right?
His eyes are flashing feral. What do you do?
Okay, if Bastien looks like he's gonna attack the horse, then I'd like to actually use my Song of Serenity on Bastien to try and calm him down.
Oh boy, I don't believe that works on vampires.
Yes, it does.
Oh, does it now? Oh wow.
Yep. It's very specific. So it's if you do it before they frenzy, they get help on the frenzy check. If you do it after they frenzy, they get another opportunity to stop frenzy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. Sorry, they've changed things for Dark Ages.
Yeah,
20.
on vampires, the roll to shake the effect occurs every scene.
Do it. All right, so go ahead. Let's make that roll. Or is it automatic?
Perfect. No, I have to make the roll for against difficulty 7.
We just used it in my other game for
Nice.
some terrible stuff.
Dark Ages V20 is so much better than revised. Like they just iron so many things out.
Yeah.
Feels good.
I think Tereza is going to use intimidation for this, being like, Bastien, enough. And so 5 dice. Man, I wish that was difficulty 6, not difficulty 7. So that's going to be 1 success.
Okay. How many do you need? Just one?
Oh, I think it's versus. Sorry, apparently it's been a week. It's against his willpower, so I can continue to go next round. I haven't failed, so that I can continue next round to do that.
So it's against Bastien's permanent willpower?
Yes.
Okay.
Current or permanent?
It says equal to the victim's willpower dots.
Dots is permanent.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you are going to say that. And Bastien, what would you like to do?
I'm angry, right?
You are very angry. You want to kill
This
this
is different
horse.
than a hunger friend.
You will likely try to grapple and bite the horse.
Unless
You can spend a willpower to leave the scene.
yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
This horse doesn't deserve it.
Okay. So spending a willpower, you will just run off into the woods until you can calm down. Okay. All right. So with that, let's pop out of initiative then. So
Alëna's action was then to follow Bastien into the woods,
Okay.
but like quietly, like try to follow.
All right. Sounds good.
I want to run up to Alëna quickly and be like, I'm going to take off my robe and hand it to her. and just be like, just in case you're seen.
Okay, so you'll do that, and then it is Alyona's turn in initiative order, so that's when you'll run after Bastien.
Yeah. I'm just trying to follow him, make sure he's safe.
Sounds good. We'll catch up with you two in a minute, but back at the cart, is there anything... Tereza, the horse is rearing up and panicking. Would you like to try to calm the horse?
Yes, now I'd like to try and calm the horse now that...
Okay.
Doesn't look like
would you like to use
Bastien's
supernatural means, or would you like to... Because you could just try using the beckoning to calm it. Or use...
Yeah, I'll try and use... I'll use the Whispers to the Wild.
Yes. I almost called it Feral Whispers, but yes. Every edition changes their names.
Yeah, I think she's gonna start... Oh, no. Calm.
Okay, go ahead. And does that require a roll?
Yeah,
to...
manipulation and animal kin.
All
right. And my difficulty is... would it be? It's not. It's another mammal and not a.
Yeah, it is a herbivore.
6. Yeah, so difficulty 6 for that. So manipulation and animal kin. That's going to be 3 successes on that.
Okay. The horse will calm down and kind of leer around, kind of warily at you, but will submit.
Good. Well, 3 will guarantee regular task for a week or more. All right. This horse is loyal to me for a week.
And I'm pretty sure that's how you have the horses able to be around you at all, to be honest. Because horses do not like vampires.
No, but they wouldn't.
It's okay. What are you doing, Rainald?
Well, Tereza's trying to grab the calm the horse. It's great. The other one is still alive, but I'm going to stay away from the animals because, no, ew. And I'm going to just take a look at what remains of the corpse of this creature.
Please do.
And just see if there's anything else on it, or...
Of course. Would you like to make any type of roll? Investigation, medicine, what are you thinking?
Mostly just seeing if there's anything you like on it that just kind of stands out as weird. Maybe occult?
Sure. Perception and occult, please.
Normal difficulty is 6.
Go ahead and give me this at 6.
That will be 3.
Okay. Looking at it, you're going to notice a couple things about this body. It is caked with dirt and blood. There is unusual amounts of hair along this armless, legless, headless, now human corpse. The man wasn't handsome beforehand. Very scarred, very broad-faced, with a thick nose that had been broken a dozen times, likely. Looking down, you will notice that along the ropey, scarred muscles of his chest and obliques, you are going to see a couple of things that are going to kind of catch your attention. The first is there appears to be ritual scarring along the side. Symbols. Something that looks like probably a moon. Makes sense. But you'll also notice that the man had 3 nipples. One of which was darker, almost like a cancer. A witch's mark. Doing a quick check as well, you'll see that his middle fingers were the same length. Both his ring and middle finger are the same length. His fingernails are long and thick, and he has a thick brow. Only one the unibrow across his Cro-Magnon forehead. As well, although he shifted into that monstrous beast, his clothes reverted back onto his body when he died, although they were torn to ribbons. You will see that he has a necklace on, and in it, a leather pouch. Or actually onto the... it's a thong with a leather pouch attached to it. Decorated with feathers and fangs.
I'm going to pick that up. I'm not going to open it. Actually, no. Rainald's going to open it.
Okay. Inside, you are going to see that it has various dried herbs, as well as what looks like teeth. Human teeth? And bone.
Savage.
Okay. So taking that, you now have a little werewolf gift bag.
Werewolf gift bag. Not for long.
Okay. Do you do anything with it?
I'll just hold on to it for now because my robes are gone. So
That's true.
I'll head back to the cart and see how Tereza's doing with the animals.
The horses are once again under control and are ready to pull the wagon. Dominic rises from the back of the cart and slowly, gently, tenderly, like someone who thinks they sprained something, but it turns out that they didn't, kind of tests a couple of weak limbs with a bit of confusion on his face. I felt that I was done for. Mistress, let me take the horses. You need to rest.
Are you sure you're feeling all right?
Yes, my armor is, is destroyed. It was good make. It saved my life. I'm sad to see it go, though. It was a family heirloom. My sword.
We can try this. Tereza would like to give him some used vicissitude to give him some to thicken his skin, to give him some meat armor.
Right now, or do you want to do it later?
Because
this is a long and painful process.
Yeah, probably later.
Yeah.
Then. But yes, Tereza would like to do that later then.
All right. Meanwhile, across the way, we cut into the woods where Bastien, having torn through the underbrush, maybe punched a couple of trees, maybe just torn some stuff out of the ground, you find yourself once again come to.
Have I managed to follow him, and I'm guessing path of destruction? And
yes, you've managed to trace him probably about a quarter kilometer into the woodland.
Okay. Is the beast resting?
For now. Yes.
Good. Come back. The pack is waiting.
Now, Thank you for following me.
I take care of my pack.
Perhaps I can repay the favor. Well, one night. Do you know how far we must travel to? Well, I suppose you can rest anywhere, can't you?
I can, but this is uncomfortable at best.
Your arm is almost off.
Yes.
Oh. Wonder if I can do it again. Or if it was just prayer that brought it about.
Do what?
Do you trust me to see to your wounds?
Alëna will take a bit of a protective step back, but kind of narrow her eyes and assess Bastien. Yes.
I'll take that as a no.
No, I do trust you.
Well, then the feeling is mutual. And I will put my hands upon Alëna's upper chest, kind of like above their heart and their neck where the main lacerations were.
You'll feel a shudder like roll through Alëna, like she feels the need to run, but she doesn't.
And I will spend 6 blood points to heal 2 aggravated.
Okay. All right. As he puts his hands on you, you see quite well in the dark, even without. Do you have your Eyes of the Beast on? Are they glowing right now?
Yeah, they probably are, because it doesn't.
Why would you turn it off, right?
At this point, with the fight and everything, yeah.
So you can easily see in the pitch black, and as he looks at you, you're going to see the center of his forehead uncrease. And light is going to gently cover you. Your wounds, 2 of them, are going to heal.
That is new.
I cannot do more. It's taxing on the fiery blood that's in me, and I'll run. Lose myself again if I spend any more.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What a night of extremes, Alëna. Thank you for trusting me.
Thank you for being worthy of being trusted.
hopefully I can earn your trust for many years to come.
If I survive that long.
Well, perhaps with me at your side, it would improve your odds.
I think with all of you around, my odds are better improved. Which is a surprising thing to feel. But so be it.
The storm begins to pick up around you, and even in the woods you can feel the canopy overhead be broken by a torrent of rain. In the distance you can hear the wagon approaching slowly, as your two allies slowly drive it down the road in the direction that you fled. There's not much time to waste. The sun will be rising in only about 3, maybe 4 hours, and you still have a good 2 of those returning up the pass.
Lady Tereza,
Yes.
I know your clan, well, many do have issues with the Ventru and the Tremere. The usurpers, I believe they're quite commonly referred to as.
Yes.
Do you know much about that feud?
Do I know much about that
Can you
feud, Kelly?
Please do me a favor and make me an intelligence and politics or occult roll.
I have both politics and occult at the same level, so
So pick which one you would like to use, but both are fine.
I'll use politics. What's my difficulty?
Difficulty in this is difficulty 8, because it is a bit of a stretch.
What a wild amount of rolls I got. I have 2 10s, an 8, and a 1. So that's 2 successes.
Okay. You know that they're called the usurpers because the Tremere were not originally vampires. They somehow used magic to transform themselves into it. And, oh, actually, do me a favor. Were any of those at 7?
No, it was 1, 8, 10, 10.
Okay. So, you know that they stole they stole your birthright.
Mm-hmm.
They stole members of Clan Zemisi, elders, and used them in their arcane blasphemy to transform themselves. And you'd even heard stories that Tremere himself, in order to ascend to the power of an antediluvian, consumed the head of a now defunct clan called the Salubri. Now, what you know about that clan is very minor. They were a clan of healers who alternatively were warriors. It's very convoluted, really, from what you remember. But the Zemisi did not really have as much beef with them as they have with the Tremere. So you definitely, like, the idea of the usurper, the thief, the monstrosity of blood magic. That would be what would be probably emphasized by Micah.
Okay. I know of the stolen gifts of the Tremere. Why?
Horrible, horrible things that they've done.
Yes.
Has your clan ever thought to reach out to other clans for allies? I believe they've not left a good taste in others' mouths, and some of their other enemies could be worthwhile investigating to see if we can eliminate a common foe. Just curiosity, really.
I do not know necessarily. That would be more of a question for my sire.
Yes.
But I've seen that we have worked well together, the four of us, and that having different skills from different clans seems to be very fortuitous for getting things accomplished, and I do not see why we wouldn't. Why exploring alliances between clans would be a foolish thing to waste on, to eliminate the usurpers.
Oh, agreed. This is indeed a gathering made no less by the mercy of God. It is providence that we have all gathered together here. I truly believe that. If I heard a rumor about the Tremere, and I was wondering if it's true, if you knew much about it. They apparently stole, ate some, that horrible sin. They usurped the position from another clan of soul-eating demons?
I've heard of it. I've heard I heard they were more healers, I think, and watchers, but it might be different stories from different clans, but yes, I've heard they eat the head of the salubri, but then they're now no more.
And
that's all I really know.
Do we know the name of the salubri leader? Or antediluvian?
You got three successes? Yes.
Funny that that particular antediluvian was mentioned in the tablets that we found. Saulat. Again, providence. But it's good to see that you have an open mind when it comes to shared common or enemies that your clan might have. I've heard that a great many people have been suckered into hating them. I know my sire in particular, she's quite fond of them. What few are left.
They're still around.
Oh, here and there, apparently.
And as you say that, you'll see your two allies making it up to the road again, as you watch the cart wiggle back and forth, pitched and potted as the road is. And Bastien, as you look back and see your allies riding toward you, you will see in the back Dominic sitting up in the cart, clothes stripped down bare from where his armor was torn asunder, and sitting next to him is that blonde man that you see in your visions. He smiles at you. And for the first time yet, you recognize that he too has a third eye in his forehead.
Tereza would have liked to bring the werewolf corpse with them. The human now, but Tereza is going to use his bones.
Okay, yeah, you can easily grab it, pull it into the
Good
cart.
thinking.
As-
He has friends nearby, leaving the body over there.
Okay, and Chris.
I want to help Bastien and Alëna, if she'll let me, help them into the cart. And as helping Bastien into the cart, I want to just quietly say, like, I think your secret is safe here. And just nothing else, and then be like, Alëna, come. It'll be easier this way without your guts falling all over the road. Join us with the cart.
Is the cart open or closed?
It is an open cart. Think like a hay cart.
Yeah.
A hay cart, not a Oregon Trail cart.
Yeah. No.
No,
We're not going on
if
the Oregon Trail.
Tereza does some skin crafting, it won't be an organ cart anymore.
It'll be a skin cart, yes.
Yeah.
Plus, I picked up, I'll hold up the necklace. I believe this belongs to the two of you for defeating that monster. I'll hold up the little necklace in the medicine bag.
Disgusting.
At that, I think Alëna will actually get into the cart and be like really interested in what you're holding.
Oh, he'll hand it to you, and I'm curious as to what significance such a trinket has, but again, it's by all right belongs to the two of you for taking that thing down.
Can I make a roll to see what it is, or?
Sure, make me an intelligence and occult roll.
Okay.
Can I
he
help
made
her? Or is it a
a-
separate? Oh,
You
sorry.
can do
Uh,
separate.
Rainald said medicine bag. Would I be able to look in with medicine to determine if anything inside?
I
of
was
it?
gonna say, can I use Hearth Wisdom with my specialty in herbalism?
Sure, you can use Hearth Wisdom.
Okay.
Hearth Wisdom would work, medicine would not. It's a
Okay,
different type of
I'll-
medicine.
I also have a point in Hearth Wisdom, so I will use
Okay.
that too.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty on this is going to be, it's a little bit eclectic, I'll say 7.
I rolled 3 6s and a 5.
Oh no.
I rolled a 7 and a 1, so just fail.
I rolled 3 successes.
Perfect.
Woo!
Looking down, it appears to be some type of fetish bag. A way of bribing spirits. Or calling spiritual aid. A good luck charm. Now what this actually does, you'd have to... some type of... It's impossible to tell without communing with spirits, and that's not really your thing.
Not really.
But you can tell that this is an item of some personal spiritual significance to the dead werewolf.
It is a personal charm for getting aids from spirits, I think.
Interesting.
Probably held a great deal of significance to the dead one.
Well, it didn't work too well for him now, did it?
No, it did not.
No, did not.
I have no real use for it, but as a trophy, it is of interest.
If you
Unless
want
someone
his
else.
skull, I have his skull. If you
do
want, I could
that.
morph it into more of a lupine look if you really wanted it to.
Oh, yes, please.
Normally, I would suggest even burying our enemies is a sign of respect, but I didn't like him.
I don't think he liked us either.
So, you spend the rest of the trip back, climbing up the Tehuta Pass, back up to the ruins on which you're building your tower. And as you crest the last corner of the pass, you're within sight of the ruins, in sight of the building, in sight of your workmen. There is a cataclysmic crack as the back axle of the cart snaps in half, as if you were laden with hundreds upon hundreds of extra pounds of weight. The horses will struggle as they start to pull forward, dragging these broken wheels. The axle snapped in the middle, leaving these rents in the ground as if they were trying to plow.
I
Ow.
know this cart was shit quality.
It's not the cart. I mean, it is.
Not?
I should walk. Alëna's gonna climb out of the cart. Not that they can really go anywhere with the cart now, but she's gonna climb out of the cart.
I guess we're walking the rest of the way.
And as you head the last 1/10 of a mile up the pass, a little bit of good news lies in front of you. For as you make it up to the ruins, to the construction, you'll see that there are 5 heavily laden wagons parked there. A fire set out, and the strumming music of the Cossacks filling the area next to your encampment. Traders returning from the western side. A small caravan has set up with nearly, a dozen or more delicious morsels and their tax revenue, waiting at the top of the pass until morning. But I think this is a good place for us to take a quick break. So, in the meanwhile, if you want to sink your teeth in and refill your blood pools, I think that these travelers will more than do that for you. And you'll even get some... Please do. And with that, I think it's time that we took a quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the... Yeah, there's a cat right there. Welcome. This is the part of the program where we look at the cat.
Where we talk to the cat.
It's used to obfuscate.
Meow.
Talk to the cat.
Catfuscate.
It's back.
Catfuscate.
Catfuscate.
Hi, Apollo.
The cat's just very chill. So hello, everybody. Thanks for rating the channel during the break. I noticed we got a lot of people here, like our friends over at Longshot. Good to see y'all there. The long shots.
And thank you, Tver Holonos.
I was just about to get to them. Good job.
Ooh.
All right. Also, a big thank you to, going to call out Mysterium MK and Kelowna Curd for joining the demonic patron and divine patron tiers. Holy crap, guys, that's ridiculous. You're wonderful. If you're on Discord, if you and you have ideas for demonic creatures and gods, PM me, please. Let's talk to the cat.
And for anyone who joined during the break, my lovely makeup job from my near-death experience.
Jen got a nosebleed during game, and we just went with it.
Yeah,
just a little nosebleed.
The first time I ran a Vampire the Masquerade game, I got a nosebleed during the character.
Oh, bye, Blogg.
Bye, Blogg. Yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about? I guess
you got a nosebleed during Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, and I accidentally bled on a quick cheat sheet of rules that I had made for my players. We used that sheet for the next 10 years with my blood on it.
Nice.
Jesus.
I was like, it's fate. It's fate. I was 18 at the time. You do stupid stuff. It's method, right? So yeah, I hope
back
you
with
are.
us, Chris.
Ooh, hold on one sec.
Chris, you with us?
3 doors down.
I am here now. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
It just said
Ping just randomly decides to boot people sometimes.
this is my first boot off of Ping.
Oh,
Get out of here. Get out of here, Chris.
Yeah, it was just like,
so,
you need to sign in. I was like, I was.
Yeah, it's done. It does that. It does that in the middle of the game. It's great. It's so fun.
Love it. At least it did it in the talk to the chat or talk to the
that
cat
was nice
portion,
of it.
The part that I don't have to edit. Oh, my favorite.
right?
I love talking to the chat though.
The chat's
Yes,
pretty great.
but we can keep doing that. You just, you
Talk
only
to
miss a
Le
few
Chat.
seconds.
Le
To
Chateau?
Le Chat.
Le Chat.
Le shit.
The shit? No, the cat. Le Chat.
The cat,
The cat
is
is
the shit.
Le chat is le shit.
Oh, is
El
it?
Chat.
Il Chat?
El Gato.
El Gato.
No, that's an Elgato. Jen's using an Elgato. Or actually, I'm using an Elgato right now. The chat loves you too. Oh, thank you. So, what else do we have? We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So, there is a poll. There's very vampire. So let's put 5 minutes on the clock. So cool things that are coming to Dork Tales very soon. I don't care if you like D&D, but we have a new campaign that's going to be starting in May that has some of your favorite people in it. And we just got the art back, and everybody here has seen the art. And it is awesome. It is beyond awesome. Like the art for it is so good. Like it's.
I think it's my new favorite artist that we've gotten.
Yes,
it's stupid good.
Yeah.
It's stupid good. And it's just like, what the hell? How are you affordable? How are you affordable by us? We're just a wee little stream.
Right.
And I'm sure if you're on the Patreon, you might get it early access.
You're gonna get it as
right?
soon as it's finalized, yeah.
Potentially, if they're
the day it's finalized, I will be posting it. Oh, thanks, Bong.
Nice.
I feel like each one tells a story, and oh man, get them while they're cheap.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. You are on it, Miser Mouse. I can never remember how to pronounce it, but I love you. Yeah, so that'll be going out to the patrons soon. I also am going to be putting out the how I did the April 1st video. I just have to film a little intro for it so that you can understand what's happening. I'm not editing the rest of the video though. So the raw, you're getting the raw, including all my coughing, because I filmed that. Like the DM Kelly part of it was filmed while I was still recovering from COVID. So there were a lot of coughing breaks. Right?
That was a rough week.
But thanks for everybody who being members of the Patreon. It really does make a big difference. That Vecna art is just stupid. I hope that game is good. Because if not, we'll just switch halfway through and turn it into a homebrew game. Once we trick everybody into watching.
Keep the art for something else. Yeah.
Just keep the art and be like,
Just keep
I'm
the
done here.
characters and do
Keep the art
a
and make
high
them
level
gods.
Elos game.
Yeah.
Just like that kind of falls down the stairs, and you're like, well, what do we do now? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Here's a
Eat his fingers.
There's a portal.
Through the Radiant Citadel so we can meet our Radiant Citadel characters and then continue on.
All right, who's banging who?
That would be a wild mixture.
That would be
That
a
would
wild
be
mixture.
that would be a great orgy.
It would be a great orgy. Dork Tales has so many different casts that would be great in an orgy too. It's pretty wonderful. That's our claim to fame. It's on the poster. So some fun stuff that's coming from us real soon that y'all need to be aware of.
Make that
If you're on the
poster?
Patreon,
I'm curious what that poster is.
what poster?
Dork Tales. Great in an orgy.
Great
Oh, yeah,
in orgy.
great- yeah,
Ah,
great
yeah,
in an
okay.
orgy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Put it in the books. So had another good world building Wednesday today. Wednesdays always feel like they're like really quick because I'm already on stream for 3 hours during the day and then I'm back. So that's always fun. But this weekend we're recording another episode of Alien. And then, which means that you're probably getting an episode of Alien on the Patreon sometime very soon. I'm also going to try to do some more editing this week so that you get another episode of Zero Sum. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Folks, the nominations for the Crit Awards are open, which is an actual play award show ran by some friends of ours. Well, some, like community friends, stuff like that. You should go and vote for us if you like us. And you can find more information about that over in our Discord, which you should be on because it's a great place to get news because it's easier to post in Discord than it is on Twitter. The other thing that I wanted to remind you is that I'm about to yawn. Whew, it's been a long day. I'm getting them all out during the break. It is this Saturday is episode 2 of book 3 of Mage, the Ascension of the Victorian Age. We're back, and the boat ride's taken longer than I thought, but it's a lot of fun. And then you can join us as well on Sunday for Planescape Turn of Fortune's Wheel, which is going to be immediately followed by Zero Sum that evening. So if you're on the Patreon,
And we're getting to the meaty part of Zero Sum, y'all.
Also, I have to say, for Mage, it's not gonna be here for this Saturday. I don't know when it'll be here, but I got a new car set for Darcy, and I'm so excited for it. I'm very excited because car sets.
I think like that corset is a next season thing or a later in this season thing. Once
I
you
mean,
get
it
rid of
depends on
that,
the timing. If we get off the boat and it hasn't, or if we're around that point, that might be a good time for a costume change. We'll
I
see.
feel like. All right. Is there
I wanna
anything
get
else
it.
really cool that we need to tell people about besides, you know what? I have
I was gonna say Extra Life again,
Extra Life. Come to Extra Life, damn it. Do it.
especially because it's
Yeah.
early this year.
Y'all running a game? I'm running one, and I'm in.
I'm not running a game that weekend,
I'm
strangely.
actually not running for the first time in a
That's
while.
suspicious.
I
It's because
am.
so many other people, like, finally.
I actually
other-
had to turn like 3 people down. Like
Which
I
is
had enough
weird.
people. Yeah.
because before last Extra Life, you were hungry for the GMs, and now everyone's dog.
Everybody wants to. We got so many
Yeah.
good people. We just need to make sure that everybody fills out their stuff so that our wonderful graphic designer Michael can help me get all of the overlays set up for it. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I have the
I'll
coveted
admit-
last slot of the weekend, and I'm going to be exhausted. So people spend money and make me do weird shit because it'll be
Yep.
great.
The last thing that I do have to tell y'all is, so the other night I was hanging out and I got an email. And we had decided that we're trying to find our convention schedule for this year. And we got an email from a convention that said, oh, hey, yeah, one of your panels is approved. And we're like, oh, that's really nice. Like we submitted over a panel, whatever. And then we got another email like a minute later. And Robin got 2 emails. And so we kind of were just hanging out and we're like, oh, Calgary Otafest just accepted 4 of our panels to come and do stuff. That's weird. And this is like the day after we all kind of realized that Gen Con's probably out of our price range this year. And then we looked at the Calgary trip and we're like, oh, that's like a fifth of what it would cost to go to Gen Con.
Really?
So yeah, we're going to Otafest, and we have 4 panels at Calgary Otafest in May. May 10 through 12, I think. Something like that. So if you are in the Calgary area or want to make a road trip to Calgary, come visit us. We're going to be there. It is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be myself, Robin, Christine, Amy, and Frecklebites will probably be there.
Nice.
Doing a bunch of stuff.
Do you? So, 4 panels were accepted. Are you allowed to mention what what they are?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is putting anime in your tabletop role. So everyone's welcome at the table. The inclusiveness panel, anime in your tabletop role-playing games. How to put anime in your role-playing games. I believe World Building 101 is there as well. And then what's the other one, Robin?
Cosplays and TTRPGs, a perfect fit.
That's right. Oh yeah, that title. So that should be a lot of fun. So if you're in the Calgary area,
I've emailed the panels. I sent an email to the panel because this time slot they put for us for that is unfortunately not going to work. So hopefully they can.
Yeah, because we're all flying home that night. So
yeah.
ADHD.
Cool. Right on.
But yeah, if you're in Calgary,
come visit us. Come hang out.
There was a comment in the chat about how somebody's like, the ADHD lets me listen to this game while running a different one.
Oh my god!
I was like, wow,
Jesus, that is skills.
That's
That
the
is
level of
skills.
multitasking.
Holy
That
crap!
is some ADHD.
It's just like, and all of a sudden there's a werewolf. Where did it come from? I don't know. It just came
from this game in my ear.
Bastien.
My head.
Okay,
a
true
werewolf
story.
named Bastien.
Oof.
A werewolf.
That is a
named
superpower. I just run the tech, music, games, and have conversations with myself. I don't
While
run
checking
another
emails.
game. While checking
And
emails.
I can't do the like music multitasking with running a game thing.
Wolf.
It's rough.
Wolf. Okay. All right. So, folks, I think it's about time for us to head back into game. I have to say I love you all very much. Thank you so much for being with us. If you want to join all those cool people who just signed up for the Patreon, please do. It's a couple bucks a month, and it really does make a difference. You start getting cool stuff at $5 and up is basically what it is. But there are like $1 and $2 tiers if you just want to like throw a couple coins in the pot, basically. Or you can make direct donations if that's more your gig. There's also going to be a couple of charity, well, not charity, a couple of fundraising streams we're going to do for the channel this year, including our convention, Dork Tales Expo, which we will be doing later. Signing up for the Patreon makes you almost as cool as Bongmaster. But then Bongmaster made a mushroom with a butthole.
Yeah.
It's true. I love that mushroom so much.
You can never be that cool. Right. Okay, so folks, it is time for us to head back into game because we're over time by 5 minutes. So, but we talked about Calgary Otafest because we just booked our plane tickets today, so I can talk about it. We just got to find a hotel.
The Patreon though, because you'll need to watch the
behind
April
the scenes
special and the behind the scenes stuff like that by itself.
It's dumb. It's so good.
It's so
I
good.
I really like
Cal.
that.
Cal, you should come with us to Otafest.
It is in.
It's Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
So consider it. We'll talk more after game.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, think about it because I'd love to have more Dork Tales people out there. All right, so without further ado, it's time to head back into some trouble and make it double here on Transylvania Chronicles. Welcome back to the Transylvania Chronicles here on Dork Tales. You slake your thirsts, having a wonderful time with some of the traveling merchants. You're able to tax their silk and amber and whatever proceeds they acquired in Transylvania. Is there anything that you're doing over the next few days? I'm assuming, Bastien, you spend some of that gently acquired blood to heal Alëna.
Yes, I believe I had healed 2.
So we can say that you just spend some of that time
Yeah.
to completely heal Alëna.
move the process along from taking like a week to a night. Or sorry, a day.
Some time passes. This is not the last caravan that comes through. Soon enough, you'll discover that they're a pretty regular occurrence. You get a caravan once, or maybe twice or 3 times a month. A few weeks pass. Construction continues grinding. Zelios's plans are intricate. Perhaps too much at times for the layman workman. During the weeks that come, let's find out what everybody's doing during that time. Tereza.
All right, so Tereza is going to work on both enhancing flesh crafting on Dominic to give him armor, and then also she wants to bone craft the rib cage from the Wolfman into almost like an armor carapace, like armor for her, like a bone kind of chest, like
so basically
almost.
Like what the was it the Kogan from Highlander wore?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I would like you to do is make me an extended dexterity and bodycrafts roll.
Sweet.
Okay. So
would mutilation apply for the bones?
No.
Okay.
No. Mutilation is you're dealing damage.
Okay. All right, so dex and body crafts.
So we're going to say that each roll takes about a day worth of work.
Okay.
And I just want 10 successes.
Okay. 3 plus 4. Yes, that's math, Robin. What is my difficulty?
Difficulty on this is, let's say 7, because it is a little intricate.
Okay. All right, so 1 success on the first day.
Okay. So just go ahead and keep rolling and tell me how many days it takes for you to complete this.
Okay.
If it takes you more than 5 days, I'll check in with you. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's gonna be for Tereza, and then for the hardening of Dominic's skin is something separate that she wants to do for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
During this time, Alëna, what are you doing over the next few weeks?
First, a small change that the others will probably notice. She starts sleeping. She still earth melds, but she does it like right by where they are. Not like in, I think they're still inside if they're still doing the, like inside that cellar thing. Or,
okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
So she'll do outside, kind of like she's guarding it.
Okay.
Rather than off in her own little area.
Okay.
And she's probably going to spend a bunch of this time she at one point at least actually no, she's mostly training her little piglets, little boarlets.
All right, sounds good. Have you named them?
I have.
What are their names? I want to hear.
Okay. First, I am going to apologize to anyone who actually speaks Ukrainian, because I found out that Ukrainian is a direct descendant of the language of the Kievan Rus. So I went with Ukrainian names, and I took a little bit of liberty because I wanted them to mean things.
Absolutely.
And this is how I work. So if I butcher this, I apologize. Savinya, Kabanchik, Rohik, Ditina, and Baba.
Perfect. I want you to make me an extended intelligence and animal ken roll to train them.
I have animalism 1. I don't know if that will help.
It basically will, let's say that that is going to be difficulty of 4.
Cool.
Because they're still stubborn piglets. However, basically, I'm going to say that you can train them all at once, rather than making individual rolls.
Cool, I appreciate that. That's
No worries.
4 successes on the first day.
Okay, so don't worry about continuing to roll. That has set a precedent. So you are going to have trained boars, 5 trained boars, that will do whatever you'd like.
Excellent.
And basically have imprinted on you as Pig Mom.
Yay. Yay.
Okay. So those boars are going to, once you stop feeding them ghoul blood every month, are going to grow to be monstrous creatures under your immediate control. I cannot wait to see what happens to them. Back with Tereza. Tereza, it takes you about 4 days to craft that armor. And another 2 days of constant work on Dominic, raising his flesh, thickening it, creating armor beneath his skin. He grits his teeth and bears the pain. He makes you proud. But when it's all said and done, he is quite strong, quite durable. Although his armor is fairly destroyed, during that time, he asks for permission to go to one of the local towns, one of the larger ones, to see if a blacksmith can repair the damage. Do you allow him to go?
Yes. But she will send Polnock to accompany him.
Okay, sounds good. Bastien, what are you doing over the next few weeks?
That is a good question.
Is there anything you're pursuing specifically? Because there are some things that are going to happen to you.
With his newly awakened powers, he would find the time to slip back to that town with the merchant family so that he can purge the sickness, the parasites from that girl that could see him. And that's if he's not needed and everyone's up to something. Otherwise, healing Alëna. He wasn't asked for help, but I could have made Dominic's kind of like numbed the pain from the procedures, but that kind of seemed like a private moment between Tereza and him. Oh, but he would want to help if there was pain. Or maybe he didn't know it was happening. So, yeah, probably just the visiting that girl and seeing if anyone would want to accompany him.
Would anyone want to go along?
This was the strange girl that was able to see him?
Yes. Tereza, if she's not, depending on the timing, Tereza would be interested, but depending if she's been working on Dominic and the bone armor, she would prioritize that over the girl, but if there is time, Tereza would.
Yeah, then he would wait for that to be finished, because maybe she's an enough. Bringing them might be able to help her more than he can. Also, she's an anomaly, so maybe they want to come along.
Does Rainald want to go as well?
He's interested, but he's got other things he wants to be doing.
Fair.
And he would encourage
Alëna just wants
Tereza.
Alëna just wants to make sure that no one's left alone. Like, either we're off in pairs or we're all together. More or less.
Yeah.
Rainald would definitely encourage Tereza to go. You know, that program with young people being raised in noble households.
Yes,
might be a good opportunity to bring this very interesting individual here, where we can keep her safe and a good eye on her.
yes.
Right, when a noble house takes on a ward from a lesser family.
Exactly. Train her, educate her, and bring status.
So that's where you head. It almost sounds like...
Sounds like it's a plan if Teresa's coming along.
In not too long, you find yourself once more in the town of Kiosa. There, you easily find your way to the Murom house. The man who runs this area as a burgomeister. He is thick, strong, tattooed and scarred, looking like a former bandit more than anything. Perhaps a soldier. And as you come to his place, can you please do me a favor? I want you to make me, Tereza, to make me a charisma plus leadership roll to impress him with your presence.
All right.
And
Yes.
you may not roll more dice than your appearance score.
Okay, I'm rolling 1 die.
Okay.
What's my difficulty?
Your difficulty on this is 6.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay, go ahead.
I rolled a 9.
Ooh.
So 2.
Okay. So you meet him at his house. He answers the door. Well, he doesn't answer the door. A very, very swollen, pregnant wife answers the door. Her dark hair pulled up in a tight bun at the base of her neck that is beginning to fray out of the corners. You can hear the sounds of babies squawing inside. She opens the door and gives you a look. Yes, how can I help you? She says with a very thick Eastern accent.
Hello. I am Lady Tereza Dinescu. And I am sure you have heard of our activities up at the Dahuda Pass. And
Please, my lady, She bows a little bit, looking at your fine clothes, your signet, well, your rings, your jewelry. Please come inside. I do not know much. I am just a poor woman. But my husband, I will fetch my husband for you. Would you like a drink, some food, some hospitality? To thank you for the long trip to us?
I see and hear you have many mouths to feed. I would not want to take the food out of your children, and you need your strength as well. But I thank you. But I have supplies well beyond my means. But I appreciate your hospitality.
Thank you. I'm Moira. My husband, he is nearby. One moment while I get him.
Of course.
She leads you into a large sitting room. This house is 2 floors. And whatever this man did prior to taking over this village, he made a decent amount of money doing it. There is a groan from the floorboards upstairs. And you can hear her hastily talking with someone with a deep voice.
Ooh, can I throw up Aspects 1 to hear better?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you mean there's a noble here? The ones from the place. You let them into the house, woman.
Yes, my love, I let them in. She has a retinue and a soldier. Bastien, are you visible? Or are you obfuscated at this point?
On the walk there, he would have turned and asked Tereza what she thinks would be better.
I think you should appear. If the girl sees you again and points to nothing, it might be concerning. I think if she points to you and sees you, you could have just been walking in the town.
So, come alongside as normal?
I think so. I think that would be the better.
Good thinking. Yeah, so I'm just accompanying Tereza normally.
Okay. You will hear the sound of heavy feet heading down the stairwell, and an immense man, nearly 6 feet tall, broad as a horse or a bull at the shoulders, is going to head down. He's dressed in nice clothing. A silk shirt. A pair of well-kept breeches. He begins lacing up the front of his shirt, showing off a mass of chest hair and tattoos beneath.
My lady, I did not think that we would have any visitors tonight. You must excuse that we do not have victuals. I am Cosmin Murom. You have been receiving the taxes, yes? This is not about that?
No, this is not about that. We are very grateful, and I'm sure you have noticed the increased amounts of caravans traversing through the pass, and I'm sure your village, your town, are seeing the rewards of our practices up there.
Yes. Yes, I've seen such things occur. These past weeks, they've been good. These caravans have even been scaring off the wolves. For a while there, we had a wolf prowling around our goat pens, taking off some of the weak ones. Perhaps some of your caravans have come and culled. If so, I must thank you. But if you're
Yes, we
not
have
here
quite
about...
the skilled hunter.
This is good. Well, if you're not here about the taxes, how can I help you?
I am here to offer wardship to your daughter.
What now? I'm sorry. I think I misunderstood you.
I'm offering wardship of your daughter.
Well, do you wish to marry my daughter off to one of your sons?
I have no sons, but I myself, as a young noble, went to learn.
As a young you are a young noble. They must grow them quite old in your country, my lady.
I would cater you to watch your tongue, and I'd like to Song of Serenity him.
Okay, please do. He has a willpower of 5.
Okay.
Stubborn bastard.
Yeah. Fuck.
He
Tereza's
actually
about to
is.
rip out his throat with that comment, but Tereza's reeling that in real hard. Where is my... Oh, it's under animalism.
It's under animalism.
Yep. Manipulation and intimidation. Definitely trying to assert through fear and presence. All right. So manipulation and intimidation. And I'm going to put another willpower into that.
All right, let's do it.
Yep. And I'm looking for 7s.
Looking for 7s. I hope you get 10.
One, 2, 3, 4. 6 successes.
Are you shitting me?
I rolled 4 9s and an 8 plus my willpower.
Excuse me, my leash. I meant no disrespect. I am uncouth. I was not raised.
Yes, and I want to teach your daughter better manners than that apparently you have possessed.
He will drop to a knee in front of you.
Please forgive me. I meant no. Your generosity is very much appreciated. I do not deserve it.
If I may, my lady.
Yes.
What my lady was trying to say is that when they were young, they were the ward of another family, and she was educated and taught skills, how to ride, commerce, to read, to write, and more than that, elegantly. And my lady has, well, she wishes to pass on that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to someone from your family, as you have been in good standing with the taxes and
And I can revoke that privilege. I could go to one of the many other towns that have been showing us promise. But I was going to give your town a chance first.
Thank you. Yes, of course, I will get her at once. If you would allow me.
Yes.
He will crawl across the floor until out of the immediate weight of your gaze, and then will scramble to his feet and stumble out.
Alëna! Alëna! Come here now. Come, girl.
And a moment later, the wayfish girl will round the corner, looking somewhat stronger. Maybe not necessarily hardier, but or more color. She's still very pale, but she moves around the corner without any look of pain about her. Yes, Papa?
Come. You will meet this lady. There is a noble. You will be serving her.
He grabs the girl, rounds the corner with her, and puts her in front of him almost as a shield as he approaches.
This is Alëna. My oldest daughter.
Hello, Alëna.
You're a lady?
I am.
You travel with angels. She smiles up at Bastien.
I tend to think that. How would you like to learn to become a lady yourself, Alëna?
Can you do me a favor? I'd love you to make me a manipulation and leadership roll. Now this is a young girl living in decent accommodations in the Dark Ages. So I'll say this is difficulty of 6 to convince her to leave home forever. Not too high, not too low.
Yeah. Leadership, you say? Okay.
Leadership, yes.
Two successes.
2 successes. She looks up at you with wide, pale eyes. Really? Is it okay, Papa?
Yes, she will teach you many things that I could not. You will have a very, very good prospects. And you can sometimes come visit, perhaps on feast days, when she allows, maybe?
Of course. I do not want to deprive her of her family. I just see promise. And I'd like to nurture and grow that promise. Maybe next time I come, you can not insult my age. Hopefully your daughter will learn better manners than you.
Yes. Yes, Alëna, get your things.
The girl will look somewhat shocked by the immediacy of this, but will look up at Bastien. Help me carry my things. And she'll grab you by one of the fingers and start dragging you up to her room.
Strength 1 Bastion. Many things.
So with
like
that,
a teddy bear or a pillow.
you have acquired, that's basically like, yeah, she's got some dolls and some clothing, and that's about it, most of which can be stuffed readily into a leather sack. As you come down the stairs laden with her belongings, Dominic will take a step forward and just kind of surreptitiously hold a hand out for you to pass it on to him.
Bastien, Lord Bastien, I think that, please, let me take those belongings. Your hands are full with this young lady. She deserves your undivided attention, my lord.
Thank you. Pass it to him.
Service is its own reward.
And with that, you have acquired Alëna, Muram. And while that is happening, back up at the top of the Tehuta Pass, there is a caravan that comes through again. And as you are looking around, watching the base building, can I get Rainald? What would you be doing in the early night?
Depends on how far along we are in the timeline.
So it is late summer at this point.
Late summer. Okay. So while everything was going on, there were two things that I was wanting to try and do. The first was mostly try and make suggestions and encourage certain types of work to be done on the area. He wants a full plan to be put into place that he wants to memorize of where everyone's kind of sleeping and private locations are, secret passages to get away and to get out installed for everyone. So he's going to be very focused on the engineering of the place. So I'm guessing if he's still there, that's what he's working on with, is it Zelios?
Zelios.
And trying to learn from him as well.
And as you approach him that night, he will turn and look at you. Ah, Father Rainald, a pleasure to see you again this eve. I've made the modifications that you requested.
Excellent. We'll all, should the worst happen, it'll be easy for us to get away or to visit each other. Needed.
Yes, the tunnels will be built.
Your accommodation is most agreeable.
Yes, of course. There is, Your new guest has taken up residency in the chapel tonight. I assume your guest?
What guest?
I merely assumed that when I saw another traveling friar, that it would belong to you, given your accoutrements.
Oh. Well, that is interesting. You know what, perhaps I will take the night off from learning under you, and if you will allow it, go speak with the friar.
Don't let me hold you back.
Most gracious.
He rode in with the caravan earlier, as far as I understand.
Let's go say hello to this friar.
Heading inside of the hastily erected, not even entirely complete, little chapel that you've built, you will in fact see a blonde man with a neatly trimmed, well, once was neatly trimmed, now has grown scraggly from long travel, dressed in the robes of a friar, kneeling before the cross that you had placed. He has a small satchel in front of him, and he is praying in Latin. Can you do me a favor? Can you make me an intelligence and theology roll?
Three.
3. You will recognize him immediately based on the dirtiness, threadbareness of his outfit. The fact that satchel is made of sackcloth and not leather. But you will notice that he is a mendicant, a traveling friar who have adopted a lifestyle of poverty, traveling, and living in urban areas to preach, evangelize, and minister primarily to the poor. As he prays in front of the cross, you can see that his hand goes to scratch behind his ear. And in the darkness with your dark sight, you will easily be able to see the crawling lice on his scalp. He does not appear to hear you approach.
I'll let him finish his prayer.
Amen.
He looks up at the cross as he finishes and lets out a long, exhausted breath.
It's certainly coming along. It's great to see it in use.
He speaks to you in Latin.
Excuse me. I didn't know anyone else was here.
I did not wish to interrupt your prayer.
I do not speak Romanian yet. I'm still learning the language as I travel. Do you speak anything else? But Latin is a bit clumsy.
I'll respond back in Latin. Or I'll try like several of the languages in the area. Whatever. I'll ask him in Latin what languages he speaks, and
I speak
Latin, English, basically, well, these languages are not quite what they are today, but the equivalent of Latin, English, French, and Italian.
Ooh,
or what would pass as Italian.
Latin it is.
I have traveled a long way. I have come here from Saxony. I am Friar Giles.
You are most welcome here, Friar Giles. I'm Father Rainald.
It is good that you are bringing the word of God to this pass. It is a bit out of the way.
Oh,
A bit.
That's where we can do our best work, is it not?
Yes.
He scratches the lice in his hair.
I have been fortunate enough to travel with the caravan that I have for quite some time, but I am making my way across the pass and into the Russian lands. Although I've heard there are some villages nearby that perhaps still worship the dark paganry.
It is true. There are some, but perhaps we can change that. we can show them the light and open the door and encourage them to walk through it. But it must be their choice. As is
I suppose so,
the gift
but
that God has given us. That free will.
yes, perhaps, but God has delivered me into these lands to spread the word.
It's good to have some help. We've got a lot of work ahead of us.
Brother, if you would have me, I would greatly appreciate the opportunity.
Tell me more of your travels. And what encouraged you to come out this way?
Christendom continues its expanse into the forgotten areas. These border marches here between the roads to Constantinople, to Arabia, to the Moorish lands as a whole. We must push back against the ever-encroaching blasphemy of the Muslims. And so I have taken up the cause to spread it, to make sure that each and every man, woman, and child knows the word of Christ, so that they may steel their heart against such blasphemy.
I think I know the best place to start. What was the name of that pagan village where...
That was Tver.
Tver? It's like... There's a small village nearby. Tver. I think that would be the best place to start. They seem quite lost. I have been slowly gathering a flock here and trying to encourage the builders to take care of their spiritual well-being, but perhaps Tver would be the best place for your particular talents. Of course, you are welcome to come back here, and if you need food or shelter or any other assistance, but I think it will be absolutely perfect for you to spread the word and shun out that blasphemy.
Then I shall do so. It will be my pleasure to bring forth the word. Thank you, brother.
Go with God.
He clasps you on the arm, and as he does, we are going to cut outside where, Alëna, what would you have done on a night like this? Seeing that Rainald has gone to investigate a newcomer with several wagons nearby, what would your night look like?
I pretty much just try to keep tabs on Rainald's, like, just want to know where he is.
Okay.
Through the evening, since the other two are gone. I did want to ask, and I asked in our chat, but how much blood I've spent over...
It has been several weeks, so you should actually be able to bypass that blood.
Ooh, excellent.
Spending one a night.
What fun things happened? I was looking forward to weird shit happening.
Oh, what weird things happened? Well, we'll say you still have one left in you then.
Okay, cool.
Save one.
Save one. I will save one.
As you rose tonight, you heard a whispering sound. And throughout the night, you keep hearing them all around you, speaking in languages that you do not understand. You see ephemera dripping off natural objects. You see there is a well nearby that overflows with mist that you can only see through this hazed vision. You saw the priest mendicant the friar enter the church. And it looked like tiny little grubs were clinging to him. Little translucent ones. The workmen continued their work on the tower, and you swear for a moment you could see the echo of a previous building there in the corner of your eyes. You could see that one of the workmen, an old, bow-legged man, he swells with these spectral veins, not muscles, but there's a fortitude to him, and creatures of strength hang off of his limbs, while nearby you can see that there is a shroud of darkness around a young man of about 15. Darkness drips from his fingertips. Venom runs down his chin. But that is nothing compared to the last cart that pulls up. The last wagon that ascends the hillside has 99 clinging, disembodied, shrieking mouths and hands clinging to it, clawing at it, dripping blood, leaving a trail of blood behind it. There is a moment as a footstool is placed around the back of the carriage. And as it is, you will see a woman in dark, flowing robes, beneath which you see a habit will descend from the back of the wagon, and you will recognize Lisetta Illuminata, Rainald's sire. As beautiful and perfect as she was when you saw her some 5 months ago, the train of her robes leaves a spectral smear of blood in your vision. She turns and looks toward you. Are you hiding right now?
I think so, yeah. If this has kind of been like my experience with some of this werewolf blood, I think Alëna's more confused than anything else. She knows something's wrong with her, but so I think like an animal that's sick, she hides more often.
Sounds good. So as you are hiding, she's going to kind of look over near you and then just kind of trace her gaze around. And then we'll head forward, looking at the construction. A moment later, she will detect the presence of the chapel. And Rainald, as the friar clasps you on the arm, you're going to hear from the doorway of the half-finished chapel, "Well, isn't this a wondrous sight?" "Hello, Rainald."
My lady.
And who is your friend that you have here?
This is...
Friar Giles, I will leave you be, brother. I shan't talk to a woman outside of testament.
And he will bow his head and will hurry out of the building. I have to say, I'm proud of what you've done with this place. I thought you were... Yes. I thought you were building a tower, though, not a chapel.
We are building a tower, but is it not important to take care of the well-being of and souls of all these men and women working here?
Of course, of course. And nourishment must be given to the soul. Have many of them been coming to you for the sacrament, Rainald?
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. So many souls that you are saving. It is only fitting that I come to deliver a sacrament unto you, my child. And she smiles and draws the sleeve of her arm up. Come.
So you said it's been 5 months?
It has been about 5 months, yeah.
So I'm down to...
Oh, it's down. You're down to what?
Level 1 blood bond then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look up at her and it's like I've been thinking about this constantly. and
As have
like, I'm going to get down on one knee in front of her. And then I would like to ambush her and take out one of the stakes that I have and try and fucking put it right through her heart.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Roll me initiative.
Can I try an ambush moment there by using the ambush maneuver, using manipulation and subterfuge?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So if this is successful, it's against her perception and alertness.
Okay.
She can't do anything, including defense, the first round of combat.
Okay, that sounds great to me.
If this works. Oh, fuck.
This
Can
works.
I roll initiative?
Yes, you can.
What the fuck?
Okay. Oh. Holy crap. I was like, I'm down to 1. I think I can pull this off with 1.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay.
I never ever would have.
Give me one sec.
Fire? Oh.
I'm nervous. Holy crap. Oh my god.
Okay.
This is dangerous game.
It's a very dangerous game.
Well, don't worry, we need new art between the time jumps, so if you need a new character.
Right?
Okay, just give me one sec to pull up her stats, because I wasn't expecting to use them.
You know, I was hoping the really hot nun would reach the era where latex is invented.
She may still.
I don't know how good... I don't think this will go very well for Rainald, but it's the longest he's been away from her. And he's got a very high willpower, so blood bond's been reducing.
All right, give me just one sec.
Because that's one of my flaws.
Okay, so... What am I? I'm at Nosferatu.
Well, you know what's fun, Chris? You have a gangrel with a pack mentality frenzy flaw right now who just saw you go after someone who's probably an enemy.
This is happening while we are out, correct?
Yeah, it's happening while you're out.
Oh my god, we're gonna come back to this.
All right, here we
Rainald's
go.
gonna be dead or
I rolled a
decided.
1 on my initiative.
It's I believe it's supposed to be opposed difficulty 6, or you can increase my difficulty if you want. Though I do want to claim confident to reduce my difficulty by 1 on
sounds
a manipulation
good.
check.
Okay, so this is perception and what?
Alertness.
For me, alertness. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll spend a willpower because.
So will I.
Oh shit.
Do you want?
That will be 4.
Oh no. I was going to ask if you wanted me to roll it to see. If you wanted me to roll to see if I can sense what he's doing. Or no. Either way is fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a perception and alertness roll at a difficulty of 8, just because.
So the maneuver you just did lets you act like on a surprise round?
Basically, yeah. It gives you... It's trying to ambush, and you can depend like how you're going to do it, but I figured manipulation, subterfuge, because I'm trying to.
I thought that was clever kneeling, and
Yeah.
And I did have stakes on me from when we knew we were going to fight Mitru.
That's right.
Hidden in the robe, so I was like, you know what?
Okay.
Oh God, let's do this.
All right, so.
You're clever, go.
Okay, so initiative. I have initiative of 15 for Jen. How many? Give me your initiative.
That's 13 for me.
13 for you. Okay, so this is
I guess Jen would be subject to the ambush as well with 2 successes.
Which I rolled.
Yeah, so
I rolled 2, so.
Surprise everyone, Rainald, go.
okay. So Rainald is going to get the first round off. So Rainald, go ahead and make me a dexterity and melee roll at a difficulty of 9 to stake the heart.
Okay.
And I believe you need 3 successes worth of lethal.
Of damage, yeah. At least. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend for celerity on this round.
Sounds
Second
good.
thing I'm going to do is spend for potence on this round. And then I'm going to attack with the stake. So that's 2. I'm going to use some willpower here. So at least get 1.
Didn't even get to see what she wanted. Just fuck you, lady.
That's all they need. They just need an in, and then they take you for everything. So
this will be
I'm talking about La Sombra.
2 successes to hit.
Okay.
So to speak.
All right. So that's going to be strength +1 +1. So strength +2 plus your potence.
Which I spent for, so that's
So
3
it's
automatic successes.
Okay.
Versus at difficulty 9, that'll be 4
that will be 4.
total. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to spend the something good happens to re-roll my soak roll for you.
I'll take it.
And that is a fail.
Holy crap.
Did you
Lurching
just one
forward.
shot?
Lurching forward, Rainald is going to slam a stake into his sire's heart, plunging it through her rib cage, paralyzing her in a moment before she can even respond. Top of the initiative, Alëna. You see him stab her. Her expensive robe explodes with blood.
I sprint over to them.
Okay.
Can I tell that he's managed to stake her?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will spend for claws, but I will not use them.
Okay.
And I
you
will
are going
stand
to
behind her and look at Rainald and just be like, what do you need?
I did it. How does it feel to be so powerless?
Alëna.
I need Felix. Carl. Get the coffin. We're going on a little trip.
From the side of the church, Felix and Carl emerge from the shadows from where you've called them. Alëna, can you make me a self-control roll, please? At a difficulty of 6, please.
Yeah.
Because you just spent blood for claws.
I spent particular blood for claws, yeah. Self-control. I am spending willpower on that.
Okay.
I said that before I actually looked at what my dice said. That's 2 with the willpower.
2. You are going to hear a sound from the door. You see her paralyzed. You see this prey. And you want to jump on it like a mouse. And you almost do, but you hold off. And then you hear a... Pueles nada? Latin, coming from the door. The priest that had wandered in here before stands at the doorway looking in, having heard the noise. His eyes are wide with shock.
Oh, I don't like churchmen.
Well, I hate to break it to you. You're in a church full of churchmen right now.
Well,
Yes, but I can kill this one.
would you like to make me an attack roll?
Yes, I would.
Okay. He is going to be probably too stunned to try to dodge the feral woman in front of him. So please make me a dex and melee roll. Difficulty 6.
Dex and Brawl for claws?
Oh, pardon me, brawl. Yes. What am I thinking?
2. Only 2.
Only 2? That's fine. Give me dexterity and pardon me. Give me strength plus 2 for damage.
Ooh. Ooh. That's 4 damage.
Okay. You rush forward in a blur of motion faster than you've ever moved before. Your first slash takes him in the chest, and you can feel as he gasps, his lungs suck on the fingertips that have elongated into claws like a lover. What would you like to do with your celerity action? Pardon me. Technically, it's a rage action. Technically,
it's a rage action. Okay, cool.
You need one more success to remove his head.
Okay.
He will not survive this regardless. You can feel his lungs sucking at your fingertips.
Cool. What is the thing I was looking for? Oh, there it is. With that rage action, I look into his eyes and say, "May Anoia bless you and Velas protect you," and then I cut his head off.
Perfect. I don't even need a roll for that. There's no way that he can survive that. He falls to the ground, and you look at this unclean churchman, his lice clinging to his scalp, this false poverty. He's a poverty cosplayer, a pretender, a mummer.
It's not even worth feeding from.
That one is dirty. I was hoping the Trev would deal with him. But,
there's a loud bang as the coffin is dragged in to the back of the chapel.
I think I might have to go for a moment. A few days. I need to go speak to my clan.
What do you need from me?
Cover for me.
Done.
Hopefully I'll be back. Carl, Felix, We need to take a little journey.
Yes, master.
Be safe.
Yes, master. You gather her up, load her into her own cart. Her driver is very confused.
Oh, we use the back entrance to the chapel. You know, one of those secret entrances we were talking about.
Yes. They absolutely can use that to get out of here. And with that, you ride off to meet with other members of your clan. Now I have to ask, do you want to tell me what your plan is here or privately?
Shall we leave it for next time? I'll tell you absolutely what I'm planning, but maybe we should keep it a surprise.
That sounds great. The rest of you, you return. Later that night, to discover that another caravan has rolled in. There's drinking and music, and a good time to be had by all, as well as plenty of drinking of something a bit sweeter. Alëna, as you hear them coming with the young girl, do you meet them on the trail or do you wait for them to come?
I meet them on the trail.
So as you are approaching, you can hear the sound of the music of the caravan. And before you can reach it, though, Alëna is in front of you.
You're back.
Yes. This is Alëna. She's going to be staying with us for a bit.
Hi.
Very well. Alëna tries to smile.
This is Alëna.
Alëna.
Yes.
If you're lucky and you want to learn, maybe she can teach you a few hunting skills. She's quite proficient in hunting.
This is true.
Oh.
If you ask nicely.
Okay.
Rainald had clan business that took him away. He said he'd be back in a few days.
Is he safe though? Should we?
He's safe. He's with his men.
I guess we are not forcing anyone to stay here if he has to take care of business.
It seemed urgent.
Does
I
he
will
eat
say,
souls?
like,
Is that what they do?
Alëna is lying, so if people want to see if she's lying, they can try. But
What do you,
she's also
what
not
do you do
that
to
far
read
off the truth.
people?
So go. So you can use Auspex too if you think that she's being deceitful. You can also make me a perception and empathy or perception and subterfuge roll versus a manipulation and subterfuge roll.
I'll do
The reason I
subterfuge.
offered it up is because I have 2 dots of manipulation and no subterfuge. So
So you're good.
The
at
only
lying.
reason it would roll is because Bastien is aware that things like dominate exist and can make people say
Fair.
and do things.
That's true.
All right, Jen. What do they got to beat? Difficulty 6.
I rolled a 10 and a 1 on my
Alright.
2 dice.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
3.
2 successes for me.
All right. And Bastien.
3.
And vibes. And vibes does count.
Vibes counts. Right. And okay, so that's another success. So 4.
She's lying. You'd think, in specifically with 4 successes, she's lying to cover. She's doing the sister
Okay, so I don't
covering for
think
the
she
brother.
killed
Who, no, she's making an excuse. Not a particularly good one, but is saying, or well, even maybe she's just not saying some things, but she's definitely she's sticking to a simple story.
Yeah.
Less is more.
But you will get the sense that she's covering.
Is
Well,
he
What
in
did you
danger?
say specifically, Jen? In the context?
He had to go on clan business. It seemed urgent. He's with his men. He's safe.
Cat.
That's
All right.
well, 3 out of 4 is true.
Yeah.
He is safe.
I mean, it's a simple story for sure. She has 2 dots of manipulation. She's like,
Yeah.
oh.
you know what? Good enough.
Yeah.
If you two can accompany me, I'd like to see what ails Alëna away from any prying eyes.
Is she ill?
I've got squirmies.
Indeed. So if I can, I'll lead her. Tereza, if I could have your medical expertise, that might help.
Of course.
Alëna, you're welcome to accompany us, of course.
I
Oh,
also
yeah,
know
that's-
herbs. I can, if we need medicines.
Yes, I
have.
was going to say you're more well known in alternative, more primal forms of medicine.
These are things that I might wish to learn from both of you. And Bastien will kind of head. Geez, what kind of privacy would we get?
You have
in this?
you have your underground privacy area, your sleeping area.
Right, and it has like this big kind of basement
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
doors. Yeah, I'll head down there.
Alëna will stop at the entrance and look nervous, but I think that she might be able to go in if
Bastien, do you mind
don't think-
giving us five minutes?
Oh,
I just wanted to give a good full body examination of her, and I think would you be comfortable letting me look at you? And would you like Bastien to be not here as a man?
oh,
or
I
woman?
understand.
Yes.
And I'm going to use sense vitality on Alëna.
Okay. Go ahead and make me the roll.
Difficulty 7.
Okay.
Empathy or medicine. Oh,
Ooh.
holy. I should take a picture of this.
Yeah.
I don't really have any so many 10s, but no. Humor specialty doesn't.
Humors. I'd
No,
allow
it's
it.
like no, it's like humor. Oh, maybe I should take that when I get medicine.
Yeah,
Humor
humor.
as in jokes.
Oh, okay.
I should get as many humorous specialties and different things as I can. One,
Wolf.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 3 of those are 10s. But
Wow. Okay, so the specifics of the power say what?
all right, the specifics of the powers say 2 successes reveal how much health levels they have and whatnot. 4 successes reveal the subject's road or path rating if applicable.
Okay.
Alternatively, successes allow the player to ask the storyteller questions about the subject's general health.
Okay. She is very healthy since the ghouling. She is of average like morality for her like age and humanity, right? It's not like she really has to have that type of thing. But you also are going to see that she still is sick. This infection is clinging on. This whatever these parasites are, they are definitely giving even your vitae a run for its money.
And Bastion's was already open, but will shine out in a brief golden light. And spending healer's touch may also cleanse any blood-borne infectious diseases, any illnesses. I don't know if
I'll say that
could
it will
apply to.
I think it will.
This.
Yeah, absolutely.
Requiring 2 blood points per infection or severity up to the storytellers.
We'll say that it is going to be, you're going to need 4 successes for this.
Okay. It's not a roll. It's kind of like a number of blood.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, so it's going to be 4 blood points simply because feeding vitae to bloodborne worms is going to, it's going to make them a bit tougher.
Hardy.
It's going to make them hardy.
Everything got tougher.
So you open your eye and you bathe her in the light of your healer's touch, laying a hand gently on her. You are going to see with your third eye this corruption evaporate from her. Like mist. Why do you have 3 eyes?
It helps me see things that others cannot.
Angels cannot have 3 eyes, can't they?
Usually much more.
You're gonna be a lady, Mr. Angel.
You will.
And as you say that, we cast our gaze down the road to a jaunty hymn being sang between 3 travelers, taking a box down the road, innocently, toward its final destination. But I don't think we can top that. So we're going to call game here for the night because that was redonkulous.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
Jen, what's your humanity at right now?
Oh, right.
Because that was casual murder.
Yeah. 5?
Yeah, so give me a conscience roll at a difficulty of 5.
Okay. I got 1 success on my 1 die.
Yeah, he was fine to kill. Okay.
Hey.
What moida?
A little bit of moida.
Moida. I wanted to do a moida, but I couldn't have the time to do a moida.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Hey, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. And to answer that question, upon inspection, no, she is a perfectly healthy girl.
Okay.
Well, aside from the parasites. But besides that, no unnatural bruising or anything like that.
Okay.
That a child of that age in this type of era wouldn't normally have.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you can't go back and take care of her dad anyway.
Oh, I'm going to. I just was like, that's more of a reason why Tereza would, or it would help
Fair.
really motivate her.
You're looking
It'd be
for
more of a priority.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so folks, that is going to be it from us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. A big thank you to everybody who joined the Patreon and who upgraded their memberships. You guys are all amazing, and you're the reason that everybody here is going to take 4 experience points tonight. Go ahead and add 4 to your sheet, everybody, between me and the chat. That's going to be fantastic. Big thank you. Hey, if you like what we do here, you can support us on Patreon, get a ton of additional content, and help us do cool stuff. We got to get new art soon because we're about to have a time jump in a few games, at the very least between books. So we got to get new art every time. We're doing this for you. Hey, a tremendous thank you to all of our patrons at patreon.com/dorktales, as well as our sponsor, Bookwyrm Games. Go support Bookwyrm Games. Use code dorktales to save 15%. And the biggest thank you possible to our patrons, our divine producers, my mom and stepdad, hey, as well as Kelowna Kurd, who just joined us tonight as a divine producer, because he was a demonic producer. Our demonic producers, Precarious and Mysterium MK, our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin and Sorcerer Sanguine, and our High Council of the Patreon, Taryn, Dustin, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Chef Eladeth, Larouk, Mike Baxter, Iridian, and Brian Kaler. God, and so many names. I love it. Thank you so much for all of your support. It means the world. It really does. We will be back on Saturday night with episode 2 of book 3 of Mage, the Ascension of the Victorian Age, Death on the Empress Express. I hope you join us for that. It's going to be a wild episode. And then if you are interested, we have D&D Planescape on Sunday at noon. And then if you're on the Patreon at the $5 tier or higher, we have Mage the Ascension Technocracy Zero Sum, ran by Jen over there. And if you haven't been watching it, what are you doing? Go watch it. Definitely do. But that's going to be it for us tonight. We will see you very soon. Have a wonderful night. Take care. And I guess stake your sires. Oh, have a good one.